Good. Welcome everybody to For Pet's Sake. Gregg Boone. So, so today, everybody, we are here for the Pet's Sake that we do every fourth Thursday of the month at 3 o'clock Central. So welcome, Greg.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome everybody to For Pet's Sake. I'm Gregg Boone, your host. Got Kurt with me right here, and we're talking about pets, all things pets. So, um, Kurt, what kind of pets do you have? I
We've
believe
got
you told me once.
a four-legged pet dog of the name of Minnie, so it's like Minnie Mouse, but we've got Minnie Dog.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So, um, I did some research and looking into dogs and the heat, and I've noticed in my area that I've got people walking their dogs, and or they're actually not walking, they're running, and the pet is stopping to take a breath, panting really hard, and getting, exhausted from the heat and everything. And the owner just keeps going. And then the dog eventually catches up and then has to pause again. I think, we need to make sure that, just take water with you and keep an eye on your pet. If you're going to take him out running, especially if it's a bigger dog or, well, just any dog. But bigger dogs have hip dysplasia issues, and um, smaller dogs, might not be able to keep up. And anyway, and I still notice people leaving their dogs in the cars on warm days. Even a temperature of 70 degrees can get pretty hot in the vehicle really quick. So just be mindful of your pets. You got anything to add to that, Kurt?
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, watching hydration and heat in cars, and we've run into it with our dog Minnie that sometimes when we're looking at activity for Minnie on a hot day, like if it's a 90-degree day and humid, you're not you're not trying for the activity that otherwise you do on a 75-degree day and not as much humidity. We always look at the recovery, how many recovers from the activity, and sometimes if you overdo it, puts that dog under stress. You can just see the tension, and just you can just see the concern, with their dog Minnie, that, oh my gosh, she's worried about her heart pumping away and tongues hanging out, and even though the water's there, because they're in a little bit of a panic, they're not taking the water because they got a little fight or flight response going on. So we always got to be cognizant of our routines and being ready to adjust if it's a hot, humid day. You know, make it more of a recovery therapeutic process, and not trying to go the exercise route, because at least too much, and then all of a sudden they're in stress trying to recover.
And of course, if you do happen to notice your dog panting, or and you're out on a run, get them to a vet. I mean, have them checked out. So that could, because it could definitely go south real fast. So, Kurt, you got anything?
Well, the question would be, is with more Mito and the pet line of products that you introduce us to, how does the product line, how do you how do you gauge, when you need to bring in certain things you got to buy for the add to the dog's diet? How do you navigate that?
Um, Basically just give your dog or your pet the pet life, and but just giving them the pet life, I mean, they're still going to be susceptible to the heat. Um, However, I believe they will be in better shape, um, have more energy, um, to be going on a run or whatever. But definitely just be mindful of your pets.
Yeah, and then there's the you know, brushing your pet, because when it gets to be hot, there could be some shedding that could be available, and even just petting your pet makes a difference. I
Mm,
noticed that our Minnie appreciates it, that when I rub her belly or whatever when she's under that stress.
yeah,
Yeah, so right now we've got Maria hopped off again. So
yeah.
where are we going next with the show, Greg?
Oh, let's gosh. Um, that's a good question. Um, well, um, let's talk about horses for a second. As many of you know, I am on a mission to help rescue horses from slaughter, and you can help me with this by calling your senator, representatives, and urging them to get the SAFE Act on the 2026 Farm Bill. Um, and what that does is that makes it illegal to export horses across the borders, Canada and Mexico, to where they're slaughtered. So if we don't get it this year, um, it'll continue for several years. So anyway, I strongly recommend everybody reaching out to their senators and representatives for that. So thank you. Uh, uh, about time for uh, to bring my guest on board, or
Um, Marie. Oh, yep, Maria is there. Hey, Maria, how you doing?
Hi. Sorry, I don't know. I dropped for a second, but yeah, nice listening to all of what you guys are talking about. And I have four dogs and two tortoises,
oh wow,
Russian tortoises. They're small dogs. I didn't start out having four dogs. I had one dog and we got a puppy, and my one dog, he was a boy and we didn't know he wasn't fixed. So then they made puppies.
mm,
And that's what happened. And so we ended up with a couple of litters and we kept two. So we ended up having four.
okay,
And yeah, but I love my dogs.
awesome, good to hear. So and you mentioned their Malshis. Is that how you pronounce it? Which is a cross between
A
a
Malshi and a thing. Yeah, Shih Tzu and a Maltese.
Maltese. Mhm. Yeah, okay. And I Googled them yesterday after you told me, and they are very cute dogs. So
Yeah, and they're small dogs. So something happens with them when I'm like I try not to, like you said, keep them heated,
Mhm.
running around because they're small.
Right.
And and one of them that's kind of light colored, I think he needs vitamins sometimes because he has real small legs and he gets tired quickly. So I notice when we walk, I try not to walk him too long, but that's important. I try to really pay attention to the clues that they give me when I'm walking them. I try not to walk them in the heat at all, but it's important. I hate when I go out to festivals and you see people bringing their dogs out in all the crowds and everything. I feel so bad for the dogs, and I think
Yeah,
that that's kind of cruel.
I would agree. I would agree. And with your dogs with the short noses, um, they gotta they have trouble breathing, and they, like you said, they tend to get hot. Um, so, but do you notice any trouble with their breathing?
No, not really much breathing. One thing I do notice with them is that they're well, one of them I noticed like he gets a lot of when after he eats, I always have to watch their diet. I give him a mixture of not really kibble, but like regular food as well. Like, we'll buy chicken and other types of meat. But one of them, he's real sensitive to, like, if you give him dry dog food, he starts getting the itchies, like.
Mhm.
So I try not to do that. But their breathing seems to be fine. Um, yeah, but it's just hard with little dogs. I never had little dogs before like this. So I'm always kind of scared that something's gonna happen to them because they're so small. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned you had a story for me. Have
Oh
you
yeah,
yeah.
about the dogs, the puppies. I think I
Yeah.
said in the beginning that was the story. I ended up with one dog and ended up now with four because I didn't
Okay.
know when we had gotten the puppy, the other puppy, the girl puppy, she just
Uh,
started getting big. Like, it looked like she was eating too much and I thought she ate like
uh,
something bad, like a ball or something, because
uh,
I travel a lot with work. And the
mhm.
when I came, the sitters were watching I had the two dogs and I came home and I was like, why is she looking big? And I took her to the vet and they said she's perfectly healthy, but she has puppies. And she's like only 10 pounds. So it was so confusing to me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I didn't know like puppy. When I say puppy, she was like a year and a half old, but I consider her a puppy. But I didn't know our other dog wasn't spayed. And then the vet was like, "Oh yeah, he's not." We didn't know he wasn't spayed because he's marked as being not spayed or whichever one is neutered or spayed. And I'm like, "Nope, he's the one who had her with puppies." I felt so bad because I didn't want her to have puppies. Like
Yeah.
she's only a year old, a year and a half old, and we were gonna get her um spayed. I get them
Spade.
too confused, but yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I believe it's spayed for the female and neutered for the male.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So having her pregnant that early, did that cause any complications?
Nope, there's just that one dog that we did keep, her first puppy. We
Hmm.
call him her name is Pepper, so we named him Salt. He's the one that's small, and I think the complications are like that's when he gets the allergies to the food, and he gets tired sometimes, seems like. Uh, but yeah, I think maybe because she was so young and he was like the first one and he was the smallest one. Like he has really small legs. He's like really tiny, smaller than the other dogs. So I think that's probably it too. But I mean, other than that, I mean, he's healthy and runs around and stuff. Nothing really too bad. But I think that's what it was too, of just being so young and having a puppy so early. And she had three of them in there. Each she had it was unfortunately she got pregnant twice because when we went to get her neutered the second time or spayed the second time, it was it was already she was pregnant again somehow. So we didn't realize that. So yeah, she had three puppies each time, and she's tiny herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kept two.
Yeah. So when the puppies were born, were they pretty small? I mean, was it
Yeah, they were tiny, like your size of your hand. They were
Okay.
small, but they grew quick and they did pretty good. They were
Yeah.
really healthy and we got the little whelping beds for them and
Hmm.
did all this stuff, you know, looked on all the videos and made sure everything was healthy and I was really concerned and we were able to find really good homes for them. Two of them we had to give to the animal society. There's I live here in Richfield, Connecticut. There's a animal society called Roar,
Uh-huh.
um, and they took two of the puppies because we couldn't get rid of all of them the second time around. But they were healthy and they did good, thankfully. And yeah, but so we ended up with no, we have four dogs. So
Okay.
four, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's great having a place where you can um give them to if you can't find a home for it, and then they take care of that. Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's how it's called. It's Animal Rescue, Roar Ridgefield, something Animal Rescue. They're very um well known. I don't know around here or in other places, but they're very careful and making sure that their pets go to good homes and they were really it was really important because I didn't want anything to happen to them. So we were
Yeah.
lucky that they were able to take them. Yeah. You just had you had to get them you pay for like their shots and stuff and then they find homes for them and it was good, so I feel good that they went to a good home so or good
Yeah.
homes,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Good. Good to hear.
Yeah.
So, what what are your dog's names?
Well, the mom's name is Pepper. The
Oh,
dad's
that's
name is yeah, my daughter named them all, okay? When she was like this
okay.
is when this Crackers was our first dog and she that was her birthday present when she was 7. She named him Crackers and that's a Malshi. He's a Malshi, a black and white Malshi. Then
Okay.
we then like Crackers had to be like 6 years, no, 6 or 5 years old, I guess. We got Pepper. She named this one Pepper. And Pepper is a Dachshund. She's a Dachshund King Charles mix. So so the puppies, the way they came out, they look like Malshis, but um the ones that have tall legs remind you of the King Charles, you
Uh-huh.
know. So that's what they all, but they all look like, I tried to send you a picture. I don't know why it didn't come through, but they all look like a Malshi breed. They have the curly long hair. They are under 10 pounds. Um, and it's funny because they're the two of them that we have, that's Crackers, Pepper, and then the one that I said the firstborn, his name is Salt. He's a beige color and white. And then there's Bailey. And Bailey looks like a spitting image of Crackers, but he has all black face. None of them look like the mom. Like Pepper has a short hair, dachshund, like kind of hair, not even. And she was the only one in her litter. All the other puppies look like the King Charles dogs with the long floppy ears, and she's the only one that had the dachshund kind of look, and that's kind of why we wanted her. But it's so funny. So we got like these mixed up dogs, but they're the best. I think mutts are the best anyway. So
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
Hmm.
And you also mentioned having two tortoises. How
Oh
does
yes,
how are they
tortoises.
big? Are they big? Are
No,
they
no, no. They're tiny. They're like the size of your hand. They're Russian tortoises.
okay?
And again, they're my daughters. Like, but mom takes care of all these animals. One's name
Yeah.
is Ari, and the other one's name is Dream. And there's a
Okay.
story with them too. When well, we before like a couple years ago, we were outside we have a pool in our other house, and there was this the tortoise was like going towards the pool, and they're small, and usually people have them as pets, but they think that they can just let them be out in the yard, but they're diggers, right? So if you
Mm.
leave them out in the yard, they dig under the fence and they go hunting or whatever. So one day we come home and we're out and we're like, there's this thing next to the pool, and it was one of the Russian tortoises, and my daughter named him Dream. And we stuck up flyers around, put it on Facebook Pets to see if anybody lost this Russian tortoise because they are pets. Usually people have them and no one claimed him. So we just had him for a while. And then he got lonely. Well, we thought he was lonely. My daughter thought he was lonely and she ended up getting
Yeah.
another one. So that's why we have two tortoises.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. And that one's name is Ari, and my husband built like an enclosure for them to like it's not that big, like in our basement. It's like
Mhm.
a table, and it has
Mhm.
dirt, and like they like to dig, and you have like a little shelter for them to hide under, like a rock thing.
Okay.
Um, and they have a lamp because they need to be heated. And the thing with them is that you have to soak them twice a week or once a week at least, but you have to soak them because their skin gets dry, and it's
Okay.
healthy to soak them. So they're like, if you do it, you're supposed to do it every week, but it's okay. At least if you do it at least a couple times a month, it's good. But they're
Okay.
good. They just eat lettuce and some fruits, and they like dandelions. So yeah, those are our
Okay.
pets. Yeah.
Okay. And
Mhm.
so you soak them in water, just regular water?
Mhm. Yeah, you
Okay.
just let them sit around in the water. In their enclosure too, they have their own area for their water. You know what they drink? They do drink water, not as much, but you have to keep water in their enclosures too, because they like to lay in the water once in a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So no more pets. She's trying to talk into getting a hamster. I was like, no, I put my foot down. I don't want any more pets.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to get rid of something.
Yeah. So, and how long have you had your tortoises?
Those are like 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And but they're small. But the thing is that they live forever, right?
Okay.
They
Mhm.
live to like 80, 90 years or something, somebody told me. And they
Wow.
have to go to a special vet. It's not like you can't, like, I'm lucky that I live not too far from a vet that sees it, calls them exotic animals, because the
Hmm.
regular vets don't take them. They don't, they don't specialize them. So you have to take them to a special vet. It's like a lot of work.
Wow.
But I think someone said too that they were going to get crickets for their pet. Maybe they have a lizard. They probably would understand, because like, yeah, if it's like same vein as having, if you keep iguanas or reptiles or turtles too, and turtles are in water. These things don't need water, thank goodness. But yeah, the regular vets don't take care of those. They're called exotic animals. So you have to
Gotcha.
make sure you go to a good vet like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
S- So do you feed your tortoises the crickets or was that
No, they're
just
vegetarian.
just
So
okay?
they
So
eat
just lettuce.
lettuce. Yeah, and you
Okay.
have to be careful. Like they can't eat spinach. Like there's a list of non-green things that they can't eat, like kale and stuff like that, because of something of the nutrients. So they have like, you want to give them like the romaine lettuce that has more nutrients in it, iceberg type lettuce, whatever. And then like sometimes you have to be careful with certain fruits. But there's a whole list of things that they're supposed to eat and not eat that could make them sick. And the other thing is that you have to keep in their enclosure something that they can keep their beak kind of sharp, not sharp, but worn down. Because the
Mhm.
other problem is when they grow, it's like your fingernails. If their beak gets too long, their little beak on their mouth, they can't
Mhm.
eat their food and they could starve. So that's
Oh,
another thing why you have to go to a special vet, because they have to, unless you could do it, but it's hard. You have to drill their little beak down, because as it
okay.
grows, they need it to be like when they're out in the wild, I guess they could chew rocks or something. I don't know. But I'm learning all these things over the years. And they have to have their beak a certain way. And if you ever go online, you could see some of them that are unfortunately abused, that people like keep them in fish tanks or something like that, and they don't really take care of them, and their beaks become thick and they're malnutritious if they live. It's kind of sad. It's a big responsibility with any pets, but exotics definitely. You got to really have like some kind of some kind of plan to keep them alive. That's
Yeah,
the
for
thing.
sure.
Yeah,
Wow. So that's actually quite a bit
yeah, it's a
of
lot.
care that you put into them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's just a good thing I love pets, right? Because
Yeah, yeah,
it's not an easy thing. You have to make sure, and they eat every day. It's not like you can't leave them food. When you travel and stuff, we usually have a house sitter, but a lot of people just think they could just throw food in there and leave them, but you can't. You have to take care of them like anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying you have to have, if you do travel, you have to have someone that you
Yeah.
trust to come in and
Trust them. And
yeah.
make sure they're eating, because the problem is if you leave, like say you're just leaving, if you're just feeding them lettuce, people just sometimes just give them a diet of lettuce. Because sometimes if you get them from the pet store, they don't really give them a wide variety of different foods. So sometimes they would only just eat the lettuce or the romaine. And if you leave it in there and it gets wilted, they won't eat it because something about it. It's just like you know how lettuce wilts, they won't eat it, and
Mhm.
they could get starve like that too, because if you have to make sure it's fresh, at least not more than a day old, because they won't eat it. And you have to make sure you rip it off and give it to them, and take the old ones out of the tank, or out of their enclosure, whatever you have, a tank or enclosure, and then give them new lettuce or new food, because they won't eat it. I don't know if it's because it's wilted or something, it doesn't taste right or smell right or something to them, but they need, like, you have to make sure you're checking on them and they're eating their food, because once they stop eating, that's another problem too. They start deteriorating, and trying to get them back to eating is kind of difficult from my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Hmm. Yeah.
Lot to lot to go into keeping those. Mm.
Yeah. Russian tortoises, and I believe they stopped selling them at PetSmart, because we were trying to see if we were going to send them back, the one that we got, and see if they were going to take them and resell them, and I think they stopped selling them. I don't know. I know they're starting to be like hard to find for some reason, or I don't really know the story, but they were selling them at PetSmart, but they don't do that anymore either. But
Mhm.
they are require a lot of maintenance, and it's not like they're not like a dog you could pet them or anything. They
Right.
do respond if you pet their shell. Like, it's nice if you touch their shell, or usually we have a soft toothbrush, and,
Mhm.
I rub their shells and, their feet and stuff. That their beak and their nails are the things you got to take care of, but they do need attention too. I mean, it's a pet. It's like,
Right.
you can just
Yeah.
leave them in a corner.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. They need
Okay.
to exercise and walk around, and yeah.
So do you ever get them out of of their enclosure and
Yeah, and the way that we have them in the basement, we let them walk around. And then the problem is, if when my daughter takes them out, she doesn't want to look at them or watch them. Then you have to hunt around the whole basement looking for them, because they like to hide under things and closet and the corners, and stuff. And they're funny. They don't just stay in one spot. They like to go places, and I think it's their instinct that they like to hide in crevices, because they're burrowing animals. And
uh
so when you have them out, obviously your house doesn't have dirt to burrow in. So they'll go under a couch or in a corner or under a chair or under, something to kind of like protect them, because they like to be in that like kind of burrowing um, kind of place. So that if you leave them out and you don't watch where they go, then it's like a hide and seek kind of thing. You have
uh,
to go around looking for them,
yeah.
find where they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily they're not snakes.
Oh no, I couldn't do the snake thing.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line. I cannot. I'm sorry. Even if the ones that don't bite, I just can't do that.
Uh,
And even with hamsters too, I don't like hamsters. I grew up when my brother had a hamster. It would escape and eat only my clothes. So no, I don't even want a hamster either. So it's like, nope, none of those type of things.
I had a cousin that had snakes for pets, and he had a couple pythons, huge pythons.
Mm.
And at one time he caught a rattlesnake, and he had that, um and he also had a tarantula.
Ooh,
Yeah, so
yeah.
yeah,
I,
and
I,
yeah, there,
that's great.
yeah, there was a couple times he had me go over to his house and just take care of them, just make sure they had water and everything, and just Yeah,
Yeah. Because when they're inside, like when they're out in the wild, they can fend for themselves, and then you're making them
right.
like helpless when they're inside their enclosures and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's not like a dog.
right, right. Yeah, yeah. Now, one thing I've always kind of toyed with having is one of those poison poison dart frogs.
Why?
I think they're pretty. I think they're pretty.
But would it?
Just having
Wouldn't you get sick if you got it on you or something? I didn't
yeah,
understand that.
yeah. So you can't handle them. You
Yeah.
just
But what if you did a
yeah.
mistake and you had when you're cleaning his enclosure and you touch him or something? That's the only thing I would be like so confused because I'm not the best sometimes, and I pick him
Yeah.
up and all kinds of stuff. I would forget. I'd be on the floor dead.
Yeah. Well, I probably won't never get one. I just at one point thought it would be cool, kind of,
Yeah, they are
um,
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I I love dogs.
Hmm.
I've had cats and they're okay, but they do a lot of shedding. And depending on what type of dog you have, I mean they shed as well, but
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing with my daughter's asthma. That's why we got the Malshi. And
uh,
and they're the even though they're not, no dog is totally non-shedding, but their shedding is smaller. And she was the one when she got tested, it was that breed that was the only one that she could have because she wanted a dog for years. We never got a dog because of her allergies and her asthma. And then the pediatrician recommended this Malshi breed, and I never heard of it either before. And that's kind of how we ended up with this Malshi thing. So yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
I was perfectly happy with no pets for the
Yeah,
first, first 7 years of her life, right? Seven,
right.
and then forget it. I was
Yeah,
inundated after that.
yeah. So, have you had any other pets in the past?
Yeah, when I was growing up, we used to have boxers.
Okay.
My yeah, we used, my aunt used to breed boxers. So and my like I was had only had one dog, but we had a dog and a cat in my house growing up. I had a boxer and a black cat we used to call Tippy. But yeah, that's what I grew up with.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I like
had. Go ahead.
no, it's like I like cats, but she's definitely allergic to cats too. So that's
Oh,
the only
okay. I see.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. I
I
could deal
had.
with a dog and a cat. I can't. I think it's easier if you have a dog and a cat than four dogs. I don't know. It just seems like it because the cat would just go in the corner and do anything. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about it. But what were you going to say? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just gonna say I um had a black lab and an English pointer, and I
Oh.
think both of those shed just a little bit. Um, Especially the English pointer. She shed quite a bit. We had black. My wife and I at the time had black furniture,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, she would. My dog Ginger is what I named her, and she would get up on the sofas and just leave it white. So, but
I
and she was
know, but they just want to be next to you. If you're sitting on the couch, they just want to sit next to you. So what are you going to do, right?
right. Yeah, yeah.
So-
She was, and she was very sweet. She was a very sweet dog. Both of my dogs,
yeah.
my black
Oh.
lab and my English pointer, were very, very good dogs. So,
Yeah. And you were speaking about dog health. Like I remember my boxer had gotten cancer and that
oh,
was tough. And I
yeah,
had it was my dog, I think when I was before I went to college and that was hard. And then didn't
yeah.
have a dog after that. It's like they get everything. That's why I explain to people too, dogs, they get everything that we get and then some. I think
Oh, yeah.
and the health is important for them. The food, like I always make sure we always, even when I was growing up, my parents always was like, we really didn't do a lot of the kibble. it was always like healthy food or raw food, and
Hmm.
kind of continuing that type of thing with these dogs. But yeah, so
Yeah. And they're closer to the floor.
yeah,
So they, yeah, yeah. So allergies and stuff, they're more susceptible.
yeah.
And, you know, people also got to be mindful of putting stuff on their lawns because,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
like, cause where we live, we have to get things sprayed because of the ticks and everything. I'm really in a very dense tree area, and so we have to get things sprayed. But it's very we try to get the organic and the make sure the dogs won't even go out after that for a while and stuff. So it's important. But people forget about that too. They'll get their lawn sprayed and then they walk the dog around it. You're like, the dog is breathing that, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely gotta be mindful of that. If you ever if you have a pet, that is that yeah. Um, so do you think that you would ever have a dog after when when it comes, would you get
Yeah.
another dog?
When these go, no. I know I forgot to tell you one other doggy we had because at one point we had five dogs. My dog, her name was Hattie, and we had her before my daughter was born, and but she was older, and she just passed away like early last year, and I put her out of my mind because that was my heart right there. And she died like within a week, which was really bad. Took her to the vet. She had something wrong with her, but she was like almost, I don't know. She was really old, but she was so full of life up until the last minute,
Yeah.
so it was kind of hard when she got sick. And yeah, so we buried her in the backyard, and that was terrible because then I think we get bobcats and stuff in our yard, and it dug it up and took her half of her body away or something. I don't
Oh
know.
no.
I came home and the sitter goes, "We found a skeleton," and I was like trying to hide it from my daughter so she wouldn't freak out. But yeah, that was
Oh.
another thing. It was kind of crazy. But Hattie was my other dog that we had for a long time, and that was kind of like pseudo my daughter's first introduction to dogs. But she
Uh,
was like she was a rescue as well, and she had one blue eye, and she was like some kind of a cattle dog mix. But when I tell you that she was old, every time she went to the vet, they were like wanted to use her as like a test category because she was running with all the, she would run with Crackers and play with him and everything, and she was really old. Like, and you wouldn't believe it, but she was up there like 60s, and
yeah.
yeah, and she was the best dog ever. But yeah, and I didn't want to get another dog, but when we got these puppies, that was the thing. So now they're here. That's another like 7 years of dogs. But after that, I'm done. So
Yeah. Okay.
I can't do anymore. The tortoises may still be here if I can't find them a home. But after
Yeah.
that, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I I I think for me, they kind of grow on you, you
They
know.
do. They're in my
So
heart though. Like,
yeah.
that's the thing. I
Yeah.
can't. They're a lot of work, but even the
Hmm.
tortoises, I mean, I have a feeling for them. It's like I don't know, some people can just give away their pets or like, if they're inconvenient, but I never could do that. Like that's probably like
Yeah.
my problem too, because it's a lot of work,
Hmm.
but and a lot of responsibility, but I can't really, give them up right now.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they become family,
Yeah, they
you know.
are.
So yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah. And it's rough. That's the only thing I don't like about having a pet is
Hmm.
when they have to go. So
It was hard. That's why too I forgot
yeah.
to even talk about Hattie because I would it makes me sad. I just remember about all this stuff with her and I remember like, it's just hard. They're
Yeah.
like part of you. I don't know. But but some people think of pets in a different way too. So everybody has their own way, but for me it's just they are part of my heart. And no
Yeah.
right or wrong or shame or for anybody else that feels differently, but for me
Yeah.
that's just how I feel about them. Yeah.
Yeah. Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, I know that, when the time comes and I need to get another pet, I'll do it. I it it can be difficult, but I'll do it.
Yeah. I want to retire.
Yeah.
I want to retire and travel. It's like that between the pets and my garden. I'm like, I'm over it. It's in a little while. By the time I'm ready to go, I'm like, yeah, maybe. We'll see. I say that now, but every time when I do travel, I miss them. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. So I
Right.
think,
Hi, Bailey. How you doing? As my dog comes and sees what I'm doing, he said Bailey likes to be in my office with me on my feet all the time. He's my foot
yeah.
warmer.
Oh, awesome. Um, so I think when I do get me another dog, um, I plan on moving out to the country here
Mm,
sometime. And so I'll probably end up getting a big dog.
yeah.
So
Or you can run and you could play with them. That's good.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know. We saw I don't think it's called a mastiff. We were going to CVS
uh-huh,
the other day. Oh my
uh,
goodness. And it was a puppy. Well, not a puppy, it was like a
yeah,
year old. And it was
yeah,
so huge. I was like, oh, four of my dogs could make one of those. And it was the kindest, gentlest pup dog ever. It was like letting us pet it. And it was like, I never seen a dog that big in my life. It was huge. And his
yeah,
owner was like a tiny woman. I was like, wow.
yeah, yeah.
Those dogs are huge. I didn't even know they
Yeah,
were
they
that
are.
kind of big dog like that. And he was just like so laid back. He's like, and I was like, well, how do you like exercise him? She goes, oh, he's a couch potato. I'm like, I guess
Yeah.
so, because he's so big. Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie Turner and Hooch with Tom
No.
Hanks?
Uh-uh. No.
They had a mastiff in that show, and it was a good movie. It was a very good movie.
Yeah, I gotta go look it up. I have movie
Yeah,
night this weekend, so maybe I'll find that one. Yeah.
yeah. I would definitely recommend that to you. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. So just fair warning, it's a bit of a tearjerker.
Oh, yeah. I like those kind of movies, so
Yeah, I
yeah,
do.
as long as nobody's getting killed or anything. Like I'm not a horror movie person. It's like I read a lot, and so when I find a movie, it's like I like those kind of sad or sappy movies. Or I don't like romantic movies either. I just like nice, wholesome anything with pets in it that'll work for me. So
Yeah.
let's
Same
see.
here. Same. Same
Yeah,
here.
this is great though, Greg. I'm enjoying. I'm learning a lot about you and your animals.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes. I'm enjoying it. It's yeah, I enjoy talking to
Yeah, me
you.
too.
Yeah. So um I guess the reason why I would get a big dog, other than um what you had said, we got a lot of coyotes around here.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I we believe my sister had a border collie, and we think a coyote got it. So
Oh no.
and yeah, it's been several years ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, so you know, she only had that one dog and at the time, and yeah, it just disappeared. And
Oh my goodness. And
yeah,
that's bad too. I mean, like our property is fenced in. Like before we bought this house, the woman also had dogs. I don't remember what kind of dog she had, but she had fenced in the property, and we have like almost 2.5 acres. So we're lucky that it's fenced in. But every so often, the bobcats they just jump over and come and You know,
Yeah.
I'll have one lounging on the patio out there. Like I open the screen, the curtains one day to go open the sliding door, and he just looks at me and stretches, like gets off the couch, like and just starts paddling away and out, like he lived here or something. I was
Yeah.
like, what in the world? We got a lot of those, a lot of bobcats. So, and I'm scared to let the dogs out sometimes because of those things. But they said they don't bother the dogs, but who knows? But they're
Yeah.
those the fences don't do anything because they're cats. They jump on things. So yeah,
Yeah.
between that and the deer and everything,
Oh,
um, it
yeah.
is. It's like you said. If you want to live in the country, it's like all the animals are everywhere. I have
Yeah.
beautiful owls. I see a couple of owls too every once in a while. There's
Yeah.
these two barred owls. I think Bayard owls. They're not the ones with the yellow eyes. They're like they're just regular. You see them all the time in the daytime. I think
Mm,
they sleep in the night, but
yeah.
yeah. Living in the country has its perks, but if you have a big yard, it's good for the dogs, definitely.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah.
I think you would have to worry about not necessarily if the unless you have like you have small dogs,
Mm-hmm.
but you would have to worry more about the dogs trying to go up and protect their yard.
Yeah, and chased
'Cause,
after the thing, yeah.
yeah,
So,
so I know last summer um kept having a possum get in the yard. And
oh.
yeah, and once I started seeing it, I had to carry, I had to carry a flashlight out with me and just make sure that she stayed safe and everything. There was one time where hadn't seen it for a while, and I kind of let my guard down, and so I just let her out, and I thought, I better grab my flashlight and just and right there on the sidewalk, we got kind of it's a like a not a patio, but it's just a walkway. And
Mhm.
so the possum and my dog was like, I don't know, maybe not even a foot apart. They were like the possum had its mouth wide open,
Oh,
and the dog was just sitting, just standing there looking at it with a surprised look, like.
yeah, like what
And
is
so I
that?
I walked right out there and I scooped her up and just kept walking and then kind of gave it a wide berth. And
Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
yeah,
those
it
are big
was,
possums. Or maybe it had babies around. You know, they always have babies everywhere. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But it was scary there for a minute, but
Yeah, because they could
yeah.
have bit you or bit the
Oh,
dog too.
right.
Because
Yeah.
it was scared. It might have been like scared.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad nothing happened. It was-
Yeah. Same here. Thank you. Yeah. So, but I believe I handled it pretty well.
Yes, you
Went
did.
right out
You were
there and
very brave, Greg. You were very brave.
thank you. Thank you. So, yeah. How we doing on time, Kurt? You doing all right?
Yeah, we're doing good, but you might want to think about wrapping up. We are a couple minutes from the top of the hour, so
All
yeah,
right.
let's go into final comments.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank my guests for joining me today. Really appreciate your time.
Well, thank
And
you.
absolutely, we'll have to do this again.
Yeah, definitely. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
I
So,
did.
mhm, yeah. Well, folks, just like to give a shout out to the horses again, and want everybody to know I'm on a mission to help rescue horses from slaughter. So, um, if you could call your senator, your representative, and urge them to get the SAFE Act on the 2026 Farm Bill. So, thank you.
And we're here every fourth Thursday of the month. If you're lucky to be a guest, please let us know. So until next time, everybody.